Today on Made for the Outdoors. One Minnesota company makes a splash on lakes around the world. And another turns those lakes into 3D art.
People are passionate about outdoor equipment. Get this, Americans spend more than $20 billion a year on gear. But no one ever really sees how their stuff gets made.
Well, that's where we come in. Each week, we throw open the factory doors and give you a behind-the-scenes look at how your favorite gear is made. Made for the outdoors. Ah, lake life. It's hard to beat a great day on the water. Water sports have long been a favorite summer pastime, and they continue to grow in popularity, most notably wake surfing.
You might think you need the ultimate wake boat to get out there, but there's one company in Minnesota producing products to ensure everyone catches a wave. And they're headquartered where else? Right here in the land of 10,000 lakes.
I grew up surfing in California and, being landlocked, I'm like, what a better way to get out there and enjoy the water than to start wake surfing.
Chris Clover's longtime love of riding waves inspired him to start Mission Boat Gear.
I just looked at the boating market. The boats are awesome. There are great board brands out there and like equipment, but there's not a boating accessories brand that really stands out.
And he did just that. From day one, Mission has been creating waves in the boating industry, pun intended. I'm headed to headquarters to check out the product that started it all.
Hey, Chris.
Hi.
Good to see you.
So yeah, welcome to Mission.
Thanks. The showroom looks amazing, always bright and colorful and fun.
Yeah, we're all about fun here at Mission. I mean, that's our big deal. We've got all kinds of stuff brewing. It really started with Delta, but we've got our inflatable mats, which are a huge seller for us. We've launched our Century fender.
Amazing.
We hit a reset button on the classic style fender. We've jumped into surfboards. So just all sorts of stuff. Anything that we feel like we can really bring a smile to people's faces on the water.
But it all started with the Delta.
It did, yeah. So that little guy over here, this is what we're here to talk about today. But yeah, this is our finished good here. So that is Delta.
The Delta is what's called a wake shaper. What's a wake shaper, you ask? I'll let co-founder Mark Bolig explain.
It creates turbulence on the one side, opposite the server, really depowers that particular wave and lets the wave from the surf side of the boat just flow up naturally away from the boat, and you get a nice clean wave.
A better wave means more surfing and more fun.
And people saw it, loved it, and said, hey, can you make me one? And that's where we really started, the ball kind of started rolling.
Mark and Chris make it sound simple, but they clearly spend some serious time on research and development.
Yeah, I gotta pick this up because this looks a little different than the product that we made or we're about to make today. Hello?
So this is one of the early prototypes. There's probably another, 50 or so of these things kicking around the back.
Just how many prototypes?
I would say 100.
Countless, yeah. There's pictures of us out of the, with our stocking caps on in the back of the boat in the late of the fall with a jigsaw.
A process that has since been perfected, and it starts right here at Mission HQ with engineering.
So I'm an industrial designer by training, so it's more of an art-based program. It's closer to a graphic designer than an engineer, but focusing on three-dimensional products.
When Chris has the final design, it's sent over to Plastek Corporation, where the Delta starts to take shape.
Oh God, the next batch is coming. I gotta hurry.
When we get back, we head there to see how it's done.
From pellets to parts in a minute.
You're watching Made for the Outdoors.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Warner's Dock, Aquarius Home Services, Spire Credit Union, Ice Castle Fish House and RV, and by Keystone Light. Keystone Light, always smooth. Celebrate responsibly.
Mission Boat Gear's first product was designed for the sport of wake surfing. But their goals transcend the water.
When we think about what Mission is and how we identify the business, it's an outdoor recreation and lifestyle company. We are on a mission to create innovative products and bring things to the market that actually help people get outside and have a good time.
Having fun means fun products. But it all started with this.
Delta is an amazing product. It is product number one. It's the reason that Mission is really on the map.
Once engineering drawings are finalized, they're sent to Plastek Corporation in Rush City, Minnesota. That's when longtime Plastek employee Alan Johnson gets started doing what he does best.
Plastek is a custom injection molder. We do custom injection molding, so we do not have any proprietary customers. We mold parts for our customers. We're a 24/7 operation. We've been in business about 65 years.
65 years, and Alan has been here for most of it.
49 years, long time, my whole life.
When it comes to the Delta, he knows it inside and out.
The injection molded parts that we make here is the main body, which is the top and bottom. We make the soft suction cups that actually holds the device on the side of your boat. And then there's a little lever, a little blue lever on top. That's what you pull to release it off the side of your boat.
Alan, why don't you show us what we're working with?
Let's take a look.
Today we're molding the main body components, which starts with raw materials.
So here's some of the raw material. You see the white part? That's a natural polypropylene resin, just like milk jugs are made out of. And see the little pieces of blue?
Yes.
That's the concentrate dye. That's what makes them blue.
The pellets are loaded into the injection molder and heated to 440 degrees Fahrenheit. From there, the liquid resin is injected into the mold. It's cooled to room temp in a matter of seconds, and voila.
The whole injection molded process still intrigues me, from pellets to parts in a minute.
A robot picks the components from the mold and leaves them for an operator like my new friend, Amy Vang. Her job is to oversee the sonic welding process.
So when I get my product, I look at it, making sure that there's no dye streaks, there's nothing wrong with it. So I place it on here. It sits a certain way. Put in my inserts, hit the two black buttons. Take it off. And there you go.
Awesome.
Inserts are in and good.
All right, so we're waiting for our next parts to come down. Those are mine. It's kind of a game. You have to make sure you're done by the time the next parts come out. I kind of like that.
We'll see if I still like it once the real game starts.
Incoming. It's pretty interesting. When they come down off of this, they're still very warm. So they're warm on the hands because this just got melted and now it's back cooling down. So it's kind of cool. All the way to the bottom, right? Oh God, the next batch is coming. I gotta hurry. Okay. Boom. Woohoo! That's kind of fun. This time goes in this way, right? Okay, got it. Comes off, nice and flush. I gotta get out of here. I'm holding her up. We've got our main body parts all done, and now they're headed to vibration welding.
Let's go.
Our two main body components are ready to be put together, and it's a pretty unique process.
Put that in there, and that in there.
So what's gonna happen is these two pieces are gonna come together, and that vibration is gonna cause enough friction that it's gonna melt that little ridge and create a watertight seal and come out as one solid component.
Hey, Alan, what do you think of our finished component?
Now this is then ready to go out to the assembly department and be assembled into the finished product.
That easy.
That easy.
All right, we're all packed up, and now we're headed back to Mission Boat Gear HQ.
When we return, we head back to Mission HQ for the final touches.
They're ready to roll.
Boom! You're watching Made for the Outdoors.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Thorough Good Boots, Alex Pro Firearms, Casey's, Guy Metals, and by Russ Davis Wholesale.
Welcome back to Made for the Outdoors.
We made it to Plastic Corporation here in Rush City, Minnesota. They do all kinds of different plastic injection molding, including all the plastic components of the Delta.
Mission Boat Gear's Delta product has gone from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional.
This is then ready to go out to the assembly department and be assembled into the finished product.
And into our hands for assembly.
So we are ready to assemble our Delta here, and typically this doesn't happen in-house, but I'm kind of gonna make you guys a test here and make sure you still know how to put this together. Do you think you're up for the challenge?
I'm ready to accept the challenge.
I love it. Okay, so first, let's talk about all the different parts that we have here.
We can start with the main body. This is basically the foundation of the entire product. It's got an attachments in the front for the mount the main plate, and then there's suction cup features here that will mount the suction cups on, and that's what attaches the Delta to the boat. So these are the suction cups. There's something that's specifically designed for this particular product. They've got a loft in there so that they'll adhere easily to boats that have different curves and shapes into them. And then the springs help attach the suction cups. We got the levers that apply the force that really seals that down tight onto the boat.
All right, let's put this thing together.
We're just gonna take these suction cups and we're gonna install these. Pop this lever on there.
Lever number one.
Lever number one. And then we'll go ahead and do the second one. You can see the levers now move and pulls that suction cup down nice and tight. And then the next step is really just putting on the faceplate. We'll just put these two together, these pieces together here, and so it comes in the box without the faceplate on. Well, that's really all that they have to do to put it together.
Easy.
Yep, they're ready to roll.
Boom, the finished product right there. Amazing. Like I said, it looks pretty simple, but it's actually very sophisticated, and just wait until you see it in use.
From notepad sketches to functioning product, our Delta Wake Shaper is ready to hit the water.
Our strategic path forward is to think of ways that we can bring accessories and lifestyle products into that market and serve a customer base that's extremely passionate and loves going outside. So we'll do everything we can between now and the end all of Mission to put as many smiles on people's faces as we can with the products that we bring to market.
Thanks to Mission Boat Gear, whether you have a boat designed for surfing or not, the surf is always up. Coming up next, we head in the garage.
It's not typical art where you're using a paintbrush or an easel or something like that, or sculpting.
One Minnesota man's passion for fishing, woodworking, and technology have turned him into a multi-dimensional artist.
I'm using thinner wood. You can preserve your islands and your underwater humps a lot better.
Hey there, I'm Bill Shirk, the man about the woods.
And I'm Alexis Spohr.
If you're a fan of Made for the Outdoors and want to know more about the show, be sure to like us on Facebook.
And follow us on Instagram for cool behind-the-scenes looks at what we're working on.
And don't forget, if you've got a show idea, be sure to drop us a note.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Casey's, Aquarius Home Services, Ice Castle Fish House and RV,
When you're a kid who loves fishing, who knows where life leads?
As a kid, we would always go to Pleasant Lake up in Hackensack, Minnesota. That's kind of where I grew my love of fishing.
For Mitch Heil, his path took a few detours, including a tour in Afghanistan. Later, back home, Mitch returned to his love of fishing and lake life, but combined it with his other passions, woodworking and computer programming. Mitch creates 3D lake maps. Instead of paint, they're made with wood and lasers.
It's not typical art where you're using a paintbrush or an easel or something like that, or sculpting. I find this works better than going to the gym and working out. Kind of always had an affinity for maps and just reading them, do a lot of fishing, so I'm always looking at different maps of lakes here and there, but mostly it's just for fishing for me.
When finished, this will be a map of Girl Lake in Cass County.
You put all of the same depth on the same layer, so all of this is only cutting out, 60 feet or whatever this one is at. So all the laser's doing is it's just following the contours.
Ah, yes, the laser.
I can't do this on a scroll saw because it took me, 6 hours or 7 hours to cut out one for myself. And then I found out that laser cutters exist, CO2 laser cutters exist. So then it brings me over to my first proof of concept on a laser, Forest Lake. And it can do a lot more detail. I'm using thinner wood. You can preserve your islands and your underwater humps a lot better.
Mitch isn't alone in his love of lakes. He creates maps for many wanting to relive a memory.
Water brings you life. You go out there fishing, or even if it's just boating or skiing or recreational, or in a lot of cases it's a sentimental thing where your grandparents had a cabin out there and you spent every summer there.
His company name is also unforgettable. Named after his dog Sterling.
We found out you could train the dogs to look for the antlers. So in my family, it's always been kind of an inside running joke that we call the antlers, we call them horns. So we called Sterling was my little horn dog.
As for Girl Lake, well, it was special to one well-known Minnesota family.
It's one constant thing that stuck with me through my entire life. Out of all the other hobbies and everything I've ever done, fishing has always been there, front and center.
We couldn't agree more.
Water sports have long been a favorite summer pastime, and they continue to grow in popularity, with wake surfing leading the charge. Leading?
Oh, we're doing it the wrong way. That's my fault.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good, yes.
We are all the way in starting over. We're in rush. They do all kinds of plastic injection molding. Oh my God.